Hey guys, welcome to another Trade Genius podcast. Bob and Phil here. Guys, we're going to talk about the semiconductor index that includes all the favorite tech names. Let's dive in.
Trade Genius.
All right, Bob. So the high-flying tech sector, I think, might be having engine trouble. So are we going to see new highs or not?
Yeah, I mean, instead of artificial intelligence, we may have artificial idiocracy here coming. So, it was really interesting. You and I talked about this for a while, looking for the great rotation out of tech, into commodities. And we got a little bit of that, but we're actually getting a rotation out of tech into small caps, into bonds, and into cash. And so it really, really was a big move down. We've been watching Nvidia for a while. Nvidia made a high, and then it made a lower high. And so now people are like worried about the alarm bells here. I could throw this chart up. I stole this chart from somebody on Twitter. I could have made my own up. It was just ready available. And look, it broke some support here. And what I'm thinking is going to happen, Phil, is that we're going to try to push up again. And I think then that failure is going to take us down. And in the past, when Nvidia rolls over like this, it retraces 70% from low to high. And so you have to be wary of that product. That whole space is going to get rotated out of. That's my theory and thesis. I went ahead and, we have a pair trade on with the high yield products. We're 50-50 long and short Nvidia, trying to capture an internal 50 to 60% dividend capture by keeping the NAV, the asset value relatively flat. But if we break below on Nvidia, if we break below like 108, then we're going to buy a short fill. And then you have another chart here that says, hey, Bob, hold your horses. We may get another run higher. And I'll let you throw that one up there. Hey everybody, it's Bob with Trade Genius. Usually I do fun ads. I talk about our service, but I want to be serious with you for a second. We've been helping a lot of people trading for a long time. As you can see here, I want to let them do the talking for me for a change. But most importantly, we want to help you too. If you have not joined our service yet, come check us out, tradelikeagenius.com. Full service. We have chat room. We have the algorithms for you. We give trades out every day. We educate you. So go to tradelikeagenius.com. Check us out. What you get out of our service is much, much more than what you put into it. And we'd like to see you in the room. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, so I think we're turning into a question of whether or not we're going to get maybe a lower high situation, which I would look at very carefully. Now, it doesn't mean that the whole market's going to have a lower high. It could just be tech is giving us an early warning signal, and then we could have some catch up like in small caps and things like that, and the market could continue to push up some. But we got to be very careful because we're starting to get into the final home stretch here of these markets. So if you look at what tech is doing here, and this is just a simple RSI that anybody can pull up on their chart, you'll notice that the RSI is oversold. And when we get to these levels in the semis, we typically see a bounce. Even when we're in a bear market where we're making lower highs and lower lows, we still see a bounce. So I think that we're going to get a bounce. I think that we could definitely see that 70% retrace that you talked about. The question at that point would be, do we get a lower high? And we have some support coming in volume too. If we look at the volume leaders chart, great site, shows you when the institutional volume comes in, even when it comes in from the dark pools. And this is what I think the 20th ranked in size in the history of SMH. So, big volume that's coming in because these are, funds and things like that pile into these charts. So this is a singular order. So the very large bet being placed here at this level between $2.30 or 230 and 240. So the way I look at this is, if you're coming down into one of these orders, then it's probably like a buy or short covering. In this situation, it's probably a buy. So you got oversold conditions, you got big money coming in volume wise at an order level that's been support. So you kind of have to look at it like the probabilities would insinuate this is a buy order and we'll go back up. But you can see they've been playing the rotation in here, right? They bought at 240, sold up at 270, pulls back. Now they're buying this 240 to 230 level again. So I think there's anecdotal evidence that on the technicals and on the volume that's coming in on the institutional side that we do bounce up. Question is, do you get your 70% retrace and then is that it? And that's what we have to watch out for.
Yeah, and my retrace could take us all the way to 2026. It's not like it's going to crash. It's going to be one of those stair step moves down.
Right.
My personal view is, I'm still holding to my April high. I mean, my August high for the markets, and it's going to be really interesting to see because we've gone from this market's not going to go down ever to 2 weeks later is that it's over. And so, the contrarian in me says, well, maybe there is a push higher coming, but I think it's 2 to 3 weeks, max top. And then I think everybody's going to hunker down for the election. So I just always share this with you guys. There's a way to play this without worrying about this too much. These yield max products are really interesting. And if you want to trade those with us, you can go to tradelikeagenius.com. We'll give you our bias. We'll help you track your return on them. And you can just kick back and say, I don't care if Bob's right or Phil's right. I'm relatively hedged. I'm going to be pulling down superior dividend yields off the investment that I made. So that's the way to do it. I also bought some Nvidia puts here, and I'm going to just manage those as a hedge against my entire portfolio until I get sufficiently short.
All right, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, we appreciate you guys watching. Check out our stuff over at tradegenius.co. We've got specials if you want to join Bob and I in the room and navigate these markets. It's going to get dicier as we progress through the year. Look forward to seeing you. Take care.
Trade Genius.